first chance on net, I feel like, is really going to have quite the momentum going through into the first couple minutes or so as we get things kicked off.
Well, the interesting thing is yesterday in their first series against each other, it was a very defensive game from the Giants because BDS, it's so hard to match their speed. And speaking of BDS, we got Monkey Moon getting the demo, now opening up a shooting lane for Marked by 8. They strike first.
Marked by 8's been one of my favorite players to watch ever since he was in the rival series for a few seasons, and he's really come into his own.
Yeah.
I think he was lost for a few seasons in rival series, didn't know where to find himself, sometimes caught between the midfield, or excuse me, from in the midfield between offense and defense, but he has really found his spot here on this team, and he's been a pleasure to watch, and good to see him start off with a goal for Team BDS. And I think the main player for a lot of people, if you want to talk about Team BDS, is Monkey Moon. His statistics speak for himself, and they have done so well for this team on the offensive front. And not to mention, the team as a whole puts up so many shooting opportunities on net. They are a team that likes to put in shots at the opposition. I believe they're over 9 so far in stage 2 coming into playoffs here.
Well, the unique thing about Marked by 8 is a lot of times the man won't even need to go for a shot or get a goal himself because he's surrounded by incredible shooters. You know, he's got Extra and Monkey Moon on the offensive, so the only thing he's worried about is setting them up, and he does exactly that. In that series yesterday against the Giants, he was the only player on his team to get an assist. Literally the only player. He was setting them up left and right. I believe 2 out of 3 games that they did win that series, Marked by 8 had multiple assists, making sure that he at least opens up that shooting lane for his striker. So he is a pivotal part of the offense. While he might not be the best shooter on the team, he is definitely the guy who is setting them up.
And so far, Extra setting up Marked by 8 for the first goal in the first minute and a half, and maybe another opportunity here for Team BDS if Marked by 8 can get it across, try to get the bump on Stake. Never got the touch. Here's Tox. Slowed down by the defense of BDS. Marked by 8 has no options downfield, chooses to throw it towards Tox, and I don't think that was the best touch from Tox. He might pay for it here. Monkey Moon off the back wall, and Extra too slow as Stake turns it away.
Tough situation so far. The offensive pressure is the same that we did see yesterday. I really think it's just going to be a defense associated game for everyone on the Giants. They need to figure out how they can transition out, or else they're just going to end up panicking because it is so hard to counter a lot of the speed that comes out of BDS. Oh, what a shot, too.
And this speed is what allows them to jump on the mistakes from the Giants as well. Even if they're small mistakes, here's a 1v1 for Tox going for the bump on Monkey Moon, but he doesn't get enough. And Tox puts it up and over his head to tie it up.
And this is the best way we can see opportunities come towards the side of the Giants, is their transition game. Once they're coming out of all that pressure, how are they going to strike on net? We've got Tox going in for a great solo play. That's exactly what we need to see. Whenever they turtle up on defense, it's how they rotate out. Do they even have enough boost? In that situation, Tox did really solid, saving his boost, making sure he can go for the demo, and then put one up to tie it. I mean, this is such a difficult game. I still feel like the Giants, so long as they can hold on, will manage to at least edge out with this series. But overall, man, I'm still trying to figure out how you counter that speed.
Yeah, it's a great 1v1 play there from Tox. It's exactly what they needed here. And Stake leaves one out. The Giants do have to be careful. BDS is clearly a fast team, and they're quick to jump on your mistakes. They can't let these balls go uncontested in the midfield. Marked by 8 didn't have any options downfield, but a double commit comes out from the Giants, and BDS might be their turn to strike. Here's Marked by 8, quick shot on target, and Stake there to make the save. But you can see that space quickly open up, and Team BDS takes advantage.
Yeah, and they're so scary with those counterattacks. It was only a small opening, and within those few seconds, they already put one on net. And you would think to yourself, that shot placement from Marked by 8 was just a little bit more towards the left side of the post. That would have been a goal. Either way, just putting on the pressure is what you need to do. Waste more boost and just hold Giants in their own end.
Sam White trying to push this one through the corner. It's going to be Tox as he tumbles on by. Extra to throw it downfield. Still a tie game, coming up on a minute left. Space to work with here for Stake. Has options to his left, gives it up to Tox. Tox goes over the head of Marked by 8. Monkey Moon not the best clear. Extra there to push it away, and a great touch by Marked by 8. Monkey Moon was looking for that backboard. Another double commit comes out from the Giants, though, and Extra receives the pass across and gets immediately stuffed by Tox.
Oh, the demos. Oh my goodness, both teams getting one apiece. And look at all this midfield space. I'm surprised at what we're seeing out of BDS. It seems like they are falling back a little bit with that defensive line, giving up a lot of possession to the Giants to kind of do whatever they want with, but they're not focusing on passing, which is why it's not as threatening as it could be.
Yeah, Giants are really eager to put this wall off the back wall. And so far, Team BDS have done a great job of making sure that their back wall stays clean. Samway, maybe one more before overtime. 5 seconds left. Giants might get the last laugh here unless Mark by 8 throws this one downfield, and I think that's going to kill it. Overtime in game 1, and we talked about how close this series is going to be, and I think this is just a precursor to what we're going to see throughout the series, Turtle.
I mean, this is not going to disappoint whatsoever. This is probably one of my favorite matchups just because of how similar the playstyles can be. And, you know, I like I said before, I do think BDS have just the slight edge with speed, but that's what makes me so excited to see Giants step up to the plate. And I think we're just one midfield pass from them, from having them take this first game.
Samway almost getting that second touch as it bounced back up into his car. Might have been able to beat that last defender if he got it. Mark by 8 can't really get a hold of this one. Samway, though, still trying to push this one out. Good demo by Monkey Moon, and a pinch comes out for the Giants.
Oh, nice pass. There it is.
Samway's shot turned away by Monkey Moon. Giants applying that pressure. Samway again off the crossbar, and it's going to bounce down. Nobody from BDS touching it as Mark by 8 happy to see this one bounce away, but with no boost, it's going to be tough to break out. Monkey Moon comes and picks it up. Full boost for him. Tries to stall the challenge from Tox, and instead, Stake squeaks by the defense. Extra, not the best touch, but it's going to do enough for his team to slow down the attack, at least for now. But Giants definitely start to warm up here. You can see them lock BDS in. And again, a lot of balls going off that back wall, and BDS slowly having their boost reserves just whittled down as they're having to make aerial after aerial with the Giants throwing this ball up into the air.
Well, you can see how lethal that offense can be from the Giants whenever they focus on those midfield passes. That one great opportunity stemmed from a midfield pass that led into a shot, forcing the defense to panic around. And then that's what opened that last second chance to put another shot on. So I think if they can keep pushing this ball into the midfield with the space that they're given from BDS, they should force a mistake.
Monkey Moon's trying to do so here. Across the box. Mark by 8 doesn't get the touch. Extra also gets bullied off the ball. Tox passed down to Stake. Quick shot. It's wide. And the follow-up there, 2 went from the Giants. And now Tox racing back on the counterattack.
This is crazy. You can see how influential just one little bump with how fast these guys play. Once you can just distort a little bit of that rotation, things start to break down so fast for BDS.
And you can see how quick both teams are to jump on the open space to work with.
Yeah.
2.5 minutes here in overtime. It's come and gone quite quickly. Stake puts one high, 2 go. Extra, Monkey Moon and Mark by 8 there to clear it away. Tox been finding himself in this third man position more and more in this overtime in particular. Doing a great job of locking things down and being an anchor for the Giants. Tox again now on the attack. This ball dangerously coming to the near post. Stake.
Look at the speed from Samway too. He's beating out that defender so easily, which is a surprise because we do expect BDS to be faster. Tox going for the bump as well. They're the only players right now on the field being physical, looking to create opportunities besides just hitting the ball.
Dangerous here from Monkey Moon. Gets the stall in front of the net, and Extra couldn't get the touch. It was a bit awkward there for the 2 players for the Giants who went. Mark by 8 gets one across the box as well, but it's going to be too high. But I like seeing that ball be brought down. Now Samway's trying to do the same. The flick, Stake bump too high on the shot. Follow-up from Tox is there, and Giants take game 1.
I got so worried when I saw this ball go off the crossbar because the play had been set up. Stake going for the bump. Samway had to flick that early because Mark by 8 was flying across the field. So he went for the early flick. It goes off the crossbar. But thankfully, the third man has confidence to throw himself and commit to the final shot. You think to yourself, if they didn't get one there, BDS probably would have counterattacked because everybody had to commit. And thankfully for them, it works out.
And, you know, Rocket League is a game where, you know, you have to know your risks.
Yeah.
And in that situation, Tox knew that this was a risk that he was willing to take, seeing both his players put the ball in a dangerous situation with that bump coming through. And that was a very smart play by Tox to come up in that third man and finally put game one to rest here. But again, a very tight series is ahead of us. Game one already over 2.5 minutes of overtime here to finish things out in game one. So I expect similar results going forward, as I really don't think either team had the advantage over each other. Both traded blows. It's a very rare game where I feel like both teams played extremely well on offense. They both had great opportunities and they both played great defense. All around, a very impressive first game here in this series.
It does feel like the Giants' offense was a bit more layered, though. When I look at both these goals, I think BDS was kind of just banging things off the backboard, hoping either a mistake would get forced out or BDS and their speed would be able to create a good opportunity. But on the other side, the Giants, you know, whether or not they could beat out a 50 wasn't really their main concern. It was the fact that they could go for the extra demo, the extra rotation, maybe a really solid midfield pass. It felt just a little bit smarter of play and a bit more intentional with what they were trying to do with the ball.
Yeah, I think a lot of the plays that we saw from BDS were a bit telegraphed, especially with quickly giving up possession, throwing it off the back wall a couple of times here and there. But I think overall, BDS did find some success, especially when they did bring the ball down and put it into, say, someone like Monkey Moon's hands, where it felt like he felt very comfortable coming out of the midfield with himself. The Giants, I mean, overall, I think for both teams, it was a good first game, regardless of the scoreline for BDS.
Oh, nice pass.
Comes over to Mark by 8. That one's going to be too high. Second touch from Mark by 8's there. And it goes past the last defender. And Mark by 8 puts away the first goal.
This is getting scary, too, because Monkey Moon, he was getting a little bit green for this goal. I didn't think Mark by 8 even had the double tap. But he beat out that defender. Mark by 8 crashing down. And we did see a double commit. Thankfully, if you're Monkey Moon, Mark hits that. And they go up 1-0. A similar stance from the first game. You know, we saw BDS go up so early on. And then they couldn't get anything after that. Let's see if they can continue this lead and continue the momentum.
And that's a frustrating goal to watch if you're Stake, because you're sitting on the goal line and you think Samway's going to go up. He gets bumped out of the way. You see another player oncoming for the shot. He doesn't connect on it. And then Mark by 8 ends up just landing on it and it bounces past you. So for Stake, that was a tough read. And unfortunately gives up the first goal here to BDS. First minute come and gone. Good clear from Monkey Moon here. Stake will turn the favor back to Extra. And Extra is happy to throw it back towards Stake. Or Tox, excuse me, as Stake takes care of Extra. Great pass over to Samway. Shot was just ricocheted off a defender of BDS. Those lateral passes are so strong for both teams right now. Here's Stake. Bit of boost to work with, but didn't take off properly there, and Monkey Moon beat him in the end. Bit of a hospital ball, and Zamway does bump Monkey Moon out of the way in the end. Monkey Moon looking for Extra, will find him. Monkey Moon still staying with it. 45 boost to work with here as he tries to get past Stake, not quick enough.
Oh, they're reading Monkey Moon so well. He's the player that once he has space, he can do almost anything he wants with that ball. The solo plays are so easy to come by with Monkey Moon, and they're denying him beautifully. He had a great touch in the corner, kept it to himself, but somebody from the Giants always there to get in front of him and force a 50 right away. There's no hesitation, and it feels like the rotation out of the Giants so eager to get up and get in front of the ball that to cut off any angle. There's almost no chance that's getting created for BDS just because of how fast the Giants are up there to challenge. Like right there in the midfield, or excuse me, on the defensive end, you see how fast he gets up, blocking out any shot opportunity.
He's a force to be reckoned with. Remember, this is a guy I called out. You have to watch Monkey Moon's 75% of the goal participation yesterday.
Yeah.
Is no small feat with the teams he's going up against. For BDS, he is their main goal scorer and definitely their playmaker. BDS experiencing a lot of defensive work right now, as Giants have done a great job of locking down the midfield. Tox still really not letting them out. Support always there, even on touches that go laterally like that one. Stake was smart enough to turn around and take that one away from any oncoming defender from BDS. Quick pass down the line. Stake there to make the save, but only for just a moment here as it's going to drop down in the box and Tox clears it out.
Still getting impressed though with Monkey Moon. Even if he's not getting something going on offense, it feels like the defense, he's always there for the clear or will slow down the pace to go for a nice little dribble out. Even extra here, we're seeing this actually from all players the more that I watch them, is that dribble out of defense, making sure they can go for a safe 50. And then the fake by marked by 8. BDS heating up a bit here in game 2.
Ooh, tough save there from Zamway. Coming up on a minute left here. Once again, a very tight game. Mark by 8 leaves it for Monkey Moon. Gets knocked out of the way, and Samway's got an open hit. Put it away, and a tie up for Giants.
This was such a weird midfield play. Look at this clear out of Zamway just to go into Monkey Moon, who got completely stuffed. Zamway on the other end with an open net to shoot at. And we all got to give credit to Tox on that 50 in the midfield, dunking out Monkey Moon. And we talked about it before, Corelli, denying the MVP, the player who is the most lethal in my eyes on BDS. They have gotten in front of him every single time on offense.
Good little fake here from Extra, and you're right. But there are other weapons here on BDS. Monkey Moon isn't the only one who can make things happen. As they do try and pick this ball up. Lots of space here for Extra. And a lot to choose from. Zamway does come flying in. Tox tried to play it to Zamway, but a bit of an awkward ball. Coming up on 30 seconds left now. BDS trying to take the go-ahead goal here and hang on to a lead into overtime if they can. Zamway cut out by Mark by 8. Goes for the bump on stake. Tox just has to tap it away. Zamway does a good job to get by Monkey Moon and at least slow down the quick transition by BDS. 10 seconds left now. Mark by 8 on the ball. Has help to his right. Extra's there. Goes past him. Just barely had the touch on net. It would have been a goal. And that ball will drop down. And of course, another overtime here in game 2.
And you got to feel for Extra in those final seconds. He thought Zamway was actually going to get a touch on the ball. Went for the dunk instead of going for a hit himself. And the ball just kept floating away across the net. Their one opportunity in the final seconds wasted. Now we've got overtime, like you said, Corelli. BDS starting to break out their half a bit, but they have been broken down by 50s and getting dunked on from Giants.
BDS have been averaging 9 shots a game, at least in stage 2 yesterday. They are currently at 9 shots here in this game to now the 3 of Giants, with Tox putting one high. So BDS definitely putting in a lot more shots, and a miscue on the defense for Giants, and BDS will take the game.
And I'm going to go to Tox's perspective here, because he was all the way on the backfield, or in the backfield, excuse me, and he was just pushed up so hard. He didn't even expect Extra to go for a bang and clear. And that is what's so lethal and special about being patient on defense. Because a lot of times when you will start to dribble out, teams will predict that you'll go for the slower play almost every time on that clear. So that's where they start to push up. And if you mix up that clear game a bit, just go for a banging shot early on, you can catch somebody off guard really easily.
And unfortunate there for the Giants, especially because it does feel like Tox might have been able to get up to that one. He did take off a little weird. He bent back a bit too far. But in the end, I think he was caught off guard just in general, and that's why it went in for BDS, and they are happy to see that one drop. Not a long overtime here this time around, much more quicker, I should say. And BDS, again, putting shot after shot after shot, and eventually the defense does crack in Giants, and that's just what BDS does, and what leads to a lot of their wins here in these games. It's just so many opportunities, so many shots, finally getting one, and that's the difference maker here.
Well, even in those replays, though, we could see how many saves the Giants had to get just to hold on in this game, because BDS didn't even put up a single save, which is amazing, because you usually expect maybe 1 or 2, no matter how dominant you are with possession. But that just shows in itself how BDS really were never on the back goal line. They were always pushed up, always going for their own shots, trying to force some pressure out. And the Giants were just getting caved in.
Well, what do you do now? You're the Giants. That's a tough game to lose. 2 overtimes now. What do you think they got to do to help themselves out here in this series?
Well, this is what I talked about in game 1. It felt like they were more layered with their approach on offense. And they were going for demos, going for multiple things within their own rotation, stealing boost, trying to disrupt that rotational line from BDS. And that's what happened earlier with the dunk on Monkey Moon. Because they're not going to outpace this roster. They're not going to outshoot them. We already know that. So you have to think a step ahead. How can you disrupt their defense. And honestly, at this point, it just feels like it's going to be those demos.
It might be. We've talked about it many times in other series, how demos help quite a bit to disrupt defense and offenses. Still a 1-1 series, though, so no time to panic for the Giants. But that one was a tough one to lose after such a highly contested first game overtime. I feel like that one was more of an unforced error, but in the end, we sit here 1-1 apiece. You can see the disruption from BDS. And Mark Baye's going to earn himself a goal here over to Monkey Moon, but that disruption is what leads to the chippy play coming out from BDS to put one away.
And Mark by 8, he's so annoying in the corner there. He didn't even rotate back. Monkey Moon and Mark by 8 are literally, what, a foot or two away from each other, and yet they're both confidently challenging the ball. We saw Mark by 8 just throw himself into the corner, keep challenging. Monkey Moon is waiting for a perfect 50. That's exactly what happened. He's got a free shot on net then, snipes into the top corner. They go up 1-0 again early on here. Every single game, BDS have scored first, and it's been within the first minute or so.
And this time just coming off some great disruption in the midfield, and I like seeing that from BDS because it is what generates a lot of their offense, the takeaways in the midfield, and it's been so strong for them here in this series, obviously earning themselves a goal here extra. Pops this one up, going to chase after it. It's almost a free backboard as Tox comes out from below. BDS trying to keep the attack on. It's eventually cleared. Monkey Moon happy to blast it up into the ceiling, and Tox takes it away. Here's Zemwe. Off the back wall, doesn't get the second touch. Tox is there. Stake still trying to keep it alive, but it will fizzle out for the Giants.
Oh, nice demo though, Stake. I've been watching his perspective. He's the only player right now going for what I talked about with the layered attack. I've seen him multiple times go for the corner boost, go for a couple of demos here and there, throw off BDS. It hasn't been enough just yet, but I think if he keeps trying to break down this defense, he'll at least get one opportunity set up for his teams, or his teammates, excuse me. And the Giants maybe look a little bit more to the midfield as well. Like the pass right there from Stake. That's what I want to see more. That is where you can start to break down BDS and really open up a shooting lane.
And they've done much better here after giving up their first goal. BDS really struggling to break out from their own end, and even when they do, they can't really keep possession at the moment. Zemwe trying to push this one across. Double commit comes out from BDS. Stake tried to drop down to Tox. He did get a piece of it. Goes off the back wall. The Stake wasn't far enough to follow up for it. It was dangerous either way. Tox throws it up to Zemwe. Zemwe might still be able to get down to it. He acted like he could. Good fake here from Monkey Moon into the midfield. I've noticed a lot of BDS players, they're very happy with just blasting the ball towards the Giants' side. There really isn't much thought going into getting other players involved in the midfield. It's just quickly downfield and away. And it's worked for them. I mean, this is the type of style that they want. And it's absolutely worked for Team BDS.
Well, and you can tell they're just trying to keep this ball in the air as much as possible. They usually have the advantage in terms of the boost game because whenever they do get on offense, they starve out the Giants so well. So they're completely happy with just booming this ball down the field, forcing them to waste boost. They can recover as well, get some boost themselves. And so long as the Giants don't look for the midfield passes or trying to infiltrate the midfield line at all, they should be fine with just booming this ball downfield.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because I was just thinking, oh my goodness, I was just thinking about Mark by 8 and a double tap off the back wall. What was that angle?
I'm looking at Mark by 8 right now, and he didn't have the first touch, so he tried to follow it up off the backboard. Getting that read is so difficult because you can't even see where that ball is going to bounce initially. You just have to hope and predict. You can calculate that bounce. Mark by 8, a brilliant display of mechanics, and they go up with a security goal.
And that's exactly the chances that BDS wants. Those quick balls off the back wall and someone there to follow it up. They have someone downfield.
They have the mechanics. We've seen it right now.
Exactly. And that's what's leading to these chances and to these goals right now. Giants have got their work cut out for them, and almost beat over the head was marked by 8. Zemwe shot, quick shot over the head now with marked by 8, and they'll get one back, the Giants.
There we go, and look at this midfield pass in from Stake. He saw the poor touch from Monkey Moon, forced the 50, got it all the way back. It might not even have been intentional to go to Zemwe, but that just shows how valuable it is whenever you're not just always going so forward with your touches and your hits. You can kind of go for a little bit of a back pass, even if it was unintentional. It worked out wonderfully. They've got 30 seconds left. They can still do this so long as Mark by 8 doesn't hit another banger of a shot.
And it's tough to stop. And the Giants, though, have opportunity to do it here if they can just break out of their own end. Time is trickling down here as a demo comes on stake. Tox pops it up. Samway only has 18 boosts. He can't go. Gonna need some help from stake here as Mark by 8 prevents another touch, and a big clear comes out of Tox. Samway's got to get there.
No way, no way.
Gonna come down, and it was going in, but a save from Monkey Moon. And Team BDS goes up 2-1 here in the series.
What a smart play for Monkey Moon to be on the backboard, too. I usually see a lot of players go into the net to play the safe route and make sure they can block out any oncoming shot, but Monkey Moon decided to go on the backboard, and it was a great decision because that 50, like you said, Kuro, that would have gone in. So a very scary look for the Giants, who were starting to heat up towards the end of this game, but I think that should be an eye-opener. You look at the one goal that the Giants got, it was off of basically a miss hit that went back into their own team, and it wasn't a linear hit. It wasn't going forward. It was actually going backwards, and I think that if the Giants can implement more of a strategy where they're not always trying to go forward with this ball, abuse the space they're given in the midfield, that's where you can start to force BDS in awkward situations like that play right there.
And one of the things that I say all the time, especially against teams who want to play like BDS, is I feel like you have to bring the ball down and get onto the dribble. And I know there are some fantastic players here on the BDS team that can absolutely get on top of you the second you bring the ball down. But it does feel like if the Giants can get that passing game going and really own that midfield, especially the boost game in particular, because you're right, the second BDS push down the field, they soak up all of the boosts, and that's why we see Giants struggle to break out. So if the Giants were able to bring this ball down, get the passing game going, make BDS use that boost to chase. Right? As a defender, you have to stay in position, make them use that boost to stay in a defensive position and not an offensive one. As we jump in to the next game, Monkey Moon is going to get one right off the bat again. Turtle BDS going up 1-0.
It's always this roster who strikes first. BDS. Look at that 50 from extra to what? I have absolutely no idea. He just dive bombed that and then somehow managed to win the 50.
Flick.
I'm confused. I literally have no words for that.
Well, what's so strange about it was that he was against the wall as well, and that was an interesting flick for extra, and he'll be happy to see that one work out. And of course, Monkey Moon there to put it away. So once again, BDS taking the lead early here. As this ball comes down dangerously, Zamway just has to clear it out, and Tox tries to pass it over to Samway. It does come in the end. Extra hit it right at him. Monkey Moon gets a demo on Tox, but not the ball. And it's such a good feeling for a team that's sitting at 2-1 now in the series to go up so quickly, as now you don't really have to force the issue. The pressure is really off you, right? The pressure is on the Giants to get that goal, even though it's a 1-goal lead, and maybe not for long as Zamway puts one away and ties it up.
Beautiful. Tox has answered my praise to get this ball into the midfield. You can see Zamway then has a nice clean shot, and also Stake is in the net just tormenting everybody who's trying to get a save off of that shot. Lots of space given. The Giants will respond after that first goal from BDS. We got a tie game.
And that's much better for the Giants. As much as I was just talking about how good it feels for BDS, it's even better to get a quick response if you go down early, and Giants do just that. Giants still forcing the issue as a big clear comes out from Monkey Moon. Still looking for the Giants to bring this ball down and get that passing game going. I really do feel like that'll break down this BDS team quite a bit. Right now, unfortunately, BDS doing a great job of disrupting the midfield once again. Here's Mark by 8. Trying to come through the sideline. It comes down to Monkey Moon, and he's happy to blast it straight back up to Stake. Monkey Moon, this ball comes right back to him, and extra there to help out. Mark by 8 doesn't go, and they'll have to restart.
Just some boomer ball we're seeing out of both teams, actually. I'm surprised to see the Giants want to try to beat BDS at their own game, which is that boomer ball, clearing this one all the way up. Rarely finding a teammate on the other side, but they're not really as dominant with the boost game, which makes it much more difficult. So like you said, Curly, you need to bring this ball down. Zamway, a good attempt here to try and slow down the pitch, go for a 50. Doesn't end up working out, but thankfully Steak's there with the backup.
Great read there from Steak as well. He had pre-jumped that shot, knew exactly where he was going. There weren't a lot of options for the shooter there.
Oh, nice dribble.
Tox on the dribble. Beats one. Gets marked by 8 and Monkey Moon to go, but Monkey Moon wins the ball, and a big clear comes out from Zamway in the end. Very tense game here as both teams are kind of just throwing the ball and testing the defense over and over again. Monkey Moon, this one's to no one as it goes straight to Zamway. And Tox might get a shot here. Top shelf for Tox and gives his team the lead.
Man, when we can stem this all the way back to Monkey Moon's hit right there. Monkey Moon had a teammate on the left side in the midfield. He ended up, like you said, just hitting it to nobody. He gave away instant possession. And the Giants are completely prepared to strike back. They do it with some great passing, opening up a shooting lane. And that all, like I said, stems back to Monkey Moon throwing away possession.
That's how BDS plays. They're happy to throw this ball down the field. They know that that speed of their teammates, of this team in general, will eventually win out. So far, not so much here in this game. Down by 1. Monkey Moon, though, might change things off the back wall. Great save by Zamway. Markmate has extra on the right side. Extra's there and turned away by Tox. Good read by the defense here from Giants to stay with the pacing. But Monkey Moon forcing it through the defense. And a good touch here from Extra. It's going in for Extra on a tie game.
The Giants just stepping on each other's feet here. So close to each other. Steak and Zamway were basically caught off guard in the same spot. Nobody then rotated back to net. They were all over the place. BDS, with how many strikers they have on the team and the skill with the way they shoot the ball, somebody will be able to find the back of the net from no matter which angle you're shooting at. And in that instance, if you break down just a little bit on the defensive side, you're going to get punished.
What a shot from Extra there. And he's been quiet throughout this series. It really has been marked by 8 and the Monkey Moon show. He's finally getting on the board.
Steak, and even there, I don't want to see that hit off the backboard because Tox, all the way on the left side, just a perfect opportunity for passing, and instead he decided to just boom it off the backboard.
Oh, Zamway almost had a second touch, but he might set up Steak, but he trips over Extra, and he couldn't slow down.
And even then, Steak was trying to predict where that 50 was going to go. If he just stayed on the ground, there would have been a shot here, but then Tox almost gets the double tap. What a save from Mark.
Couple of nice opportunities here for the Giants. Still can't put one away. Undefendable shots, really. And they just didn't put it on target. Good attempt at a passing play there from the Giants, but that one gets away from marked by 8. Trying to push this one across. Now Extra looking for the back wall. Monkey Moon. Pass over to marked by 8. Quick shot on target, turned away.
Good touch there from Extra, keeping possession, especially in the final moments, not panicking, making sure you get a nice little pass back, and that's going to lead into overtime.
And it will be another overtime here for these teams. Team BDS 1 goal away from moving on here. Giants just trying to stay alive. Marked by 8. Plays it down towards Steak. He had Monkey Moon there on the challenge. Extra trying to catch back up to this one. Tried to get the read on Zamway. Couldn't do so, and now all of the Giants staring at the ball here as they push downfield. Steak tries to play it through the gaps of the defense here as the defense holds strong. Tox picks it up.
Monkey Moon's got to get the hit.
Tough ball to read, and Monkey doesn't get it, but Extra does. Giants are chomping at the bit right now, though, as the defense does seem a bit unorganized.
And they're taking all the boost. They're just starving BDS completely.
Here's Zamway. He's got Steak waiting for this ball to come out, but he gets demolished by mark by 8. Tox tries to get a bump on Monkey Moon. A big clear and a welcome cleared for Team BDS as a lot of pressure was felt there from the Giants.
Oh, and you can see mark by 8 even trying to waste more time. Let his teammates get some boost, bang it into the corner. A smart play from him, and he's still on the offensive side, doing what he can to waste more time. That's a good 50 out for Monkey Moon. It's not on target. I think that might have been the chance had it been on net.
Zamway from the ceiling gets over one, has to dunk extra. He does, and it's off the crossbar. It's in for Zamway, and Giants stay alive.
Welcome to the playoffs. I didn't even think the Giants had it in them to force a game 5, but Zamway, what a dunk all the way in the air, smacks that one down, and the Giants force a game 5. This is a fantastic series, Corelli.
Mechanically beautiful goal there
Yeah.
from Zamway in particular, but I mean, this is what we expected. Overtime, all over the place. You really can't ask for more here in this series. Giants push it to another game. Team BDS that close yet so far. And now remember, this is the playoffs. You lose, you're out. You win, you're still in. No more second chances here. It all comes down to this final game.
And it all started with extra in that weird 50 in the corner. I thought maybe this was going to be the end for the Giants after they got scored on again at the beginning. But they were resilient, Corelli. Whether or not their defense was really on the brinks of extinction, they managed to stay in the game. So many plays from them that just kept evolving, as they continued forward. We saw a lot better passing, from Steak to Tox. Zamway himself getting some solo plays, the dunk at the end. So clutch from the Giants. And at this point, it's the same. We're at the same place where we started. We have no idea who's going to take this because it is neck and neck with skill, Corelli.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, it's a tough one to call in the beginning. I think the desk even said it. We've been harping on it throughout the series, and I'm happy that it proves us right because it's the truth. And both teams are playing up to their expectation right now. Like I said in the first game, I don't think either team is particularly having a bad series here. This is a quality series from both sides.
We're kind of forcing back into that play style where everybody just kind of hammering on the net. But we've got game 5 in the playoffs. Loser goes home. It's marked by 8 in the first few seconds. BDS, I think every single game have scored first in that first minute.
Wow. What a touch from Mark by 8 coming down from the ceiling as well. My goodness. And you're right. Team BDS doing so good right off the kickoffs, or even in the first couple minutes, able to strike first so often, so consistently. And Zamway might return the favor here as Tox doesn't get the touch. Thought was reading the clear. Here's Zamway. Now Tox had to get by extra, and extra does get the clear away. Mark by 8 over 1. Very quick and easy from him. And he might just do it all the way as Zamway has to clear it out, but he took it right into his teammate Tox. Great flick there from Tox. That speed, though, from BDS. So quick to jump on balls, especially with a flick like that. You feel like the defense would struggle to read that one immediately, but the BDS defense is just so quick.
Well, this is how we started last game, where I thought BDS, with their speed, their mechanics, especially with that opening goal, we're just going to start stomping everyone on the Giants, really. But now, I think we're going to go back into where the Giants start to get their footwork a bit, find their place on the field, find that space in the midfield, which is what I want to see, where they're going a little bit more inwards with their passing, and they'll start to get things going.
BDS feeling some pressure here from the Giants. Big miss there from Mark by 8. He will eventually receive it back. Extras up, and he can't get the touch as Tox carves it out for his defense. Steak puts it into his own corner, and Zamway, I don't think he got the touch he wanted, and a shot turned away by Steak, and Tox able to push it past the oncoming attacker. Now Zamway can get past the first man. He does. Zamway and a teammate here, as it was Steak. Didn't have a lot of options going back towards Tox. It was a tough pass, and he hit it a bit too hard.
Oh, I love the possession from Steak, too. Hitting that all the way up to himself on the wall. It's smart plays like that of the defense that will create opportunities. It does just that. We saw a good look on the net. And the Giants are still looking for that first goal, but things are getting more and more dangerous. They're starting to control the pitch that much more. But another demo from Mark, and it opens it up. 2 goals. I thought the Giants were starting to figure things out, but they just got denied.
Yeah, I thought so too. And Tox, I mean, he thought he had that ball, but Mark by 8 comes barreling through to take him out of the play, and Extra had wide open space there on the right side of the net to put it away. 2 goals up now is Team BDS.
Oh, and that's so frustrating too for the Giants. I mean, you get a couple of great opportunities. You're starting to warm up with your shooting. The passes are coming, and then a demo takes you out. Not much you can do about it, and you're still down 2 goals. Make it 3, Monkey Moon.
Add a third onto it. Monkey Moon coming barreling through himself to put one away, as Zemwe's clear wasn't exactly what the Giants were looking for. Comes straight down to Monkey Moon, and he hammers it to the back of the net, and BDS now running away with it here in Game 5.
Yeah, things starting to get a little bit more predictable with the speed out of BDS. This is how I expected, honestly, the first few games to go as soon as they got that first goal. But the Giants, like I said, were resilient. And now we're seeing the defense just start to break down. Their stamina is all gone. They couldn't last too long against all of the pace, the mechanics, everything BDS has to offer. It's just too strong.
Another tough challenge. That one came so hard off the BDS corner that last man, the third man in the Giants, just was not expecting such power and speed from the corner there, and unfortunately concedes another goal. As Giants
there's still 2 minutes. It's possible.
Still 2 minutes, absolutely. They really do have their work cut out for them, down by 4 goals. They need to start putting a couple together here right now. When you see plays like this from BDS, the ball's thrown downfield and players still hopping all over it, it's tough for the Giants to get any offense going.
Well, that's where you get frustrated if you're the Giants, because the BDS, they're even more happy now to play this boomer ball where they're just playing keep away at this point. They don't even need to worry about getting one on net or even opportunities. Just keep banging this ball, run the clock down.
And they're certainly doing that here as the Giants try and piece something together here for their offense. A big clear from Extra. This just talks back. It's going to be tough to deal with here, at least to keep possession. He gives it straight back up to Mark by 8. Bought enough time for his teammates to come back, but Zemwe doesn't get the touch. Less than a minute to go.
Oh, the speed from Extra.
Are pointing toward BDS, and Extra couldn't get over it. Monkey Moon here. They want a 5th one. They're pushing hard for it as well. Mark by 8 and Monkey Moon were both on the back line of the Giants.
Oh, and the bumps too, Monkey Moon. You're such a bully on the field right now. They're up 4 goals, and they're still trying to demo take out that last goalkeeper. Such a frustrating game for the Giants, but BDS, this is such a great showing from them in Game 5. Completely resilient and consistent right now with their speed. They didn't let up whatsoever in this Game 5.
No, they were consistent throughout the series, and I think this is the first game that you're seeing one of the teams start to struggle in the Giants. Zemwe tried to get one more for the road here, but with 10 seconds left, BDS will take it in Game 5. Such a close series here for the Giants. I think they proved a lot so far here in this first regional, and they will fall to Team BDS in the end. And BDS will move on to play the winner of Vitality and Dignitas later on.
Well, it's crazy how much of a repeat that we're seeing today that we also saw yesterday. I mean, in the same series that we saw yesterday, it went to Game 5. And in that Game 5, BDS were confident. They were dominant. I believe they won, I think it was 3-1. So still a comfortable lead in that Game 5 as well. So at this point, maybe it just comes down to the pressure, the nerves from the Giants, because we had seen so many good looks from them all throughout the first 4 games. And even when they get scored on first, they can manage to fight back, get themselves out of that hole, and put up a couple wins here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm curious to see now, again, because we're in this final bracket and this is the last day, how does this play style of BDS really hold up against, Championship Sunday, basically? And I think that's going to be an interesting thing to see. But we have more Rocket League coming up. So after the break, we've got Dignitas and Vitality. Stay with us.